Go to the next slide. When we talk about patriarchy and when we talk about feminism, this was a slogan that was put up during the recent July uprising in Bangladesh. And it's in Bangla, but it's basically saying overthrow patriarchy. So it's one way of looking at how one deals with patriarchy, but this book is not about that. Because most of the women that I've spoken to in Bangladesh are not interested in overthrowing patriarchy. Next slide, please. They are much more interested in renegotiating. In other words, they don't want to throw out their entire culture and everything that is valuable to them, but they do want to address the injustices that it contains. Next slide, please. So what I'm going to talk about is what has become known as the Bangladesh paradox. Now, paradox is something that conflicts with received wisdom. You have a certain set of preconceptions about how things should be, and a paradox contradicts that. So what is called the Bangladesh paradox is the fact that Bangladesh made some very impressive progress on social indicators in a very challenging environment. Next slide, please. So let's look at the progress. So Bangladesh's per capita GDP, we compare it with India and Pakistan. Throughout this period between 1990 and 2011 was lower. It had lower per capita GDP. It rose, but nevertheless, it remained below that of India and Pakistan. At the beginning of this period, around the 1990s, its social indicators also lagged behind India and Pakistan. But at some stage, these social indicators began to overtake these other two countries. So fertility declined all three countries, but Bangladesh's fertility decline was lower than the other two. Education levels rose in all three countries, but by the early 1990s, the ratio of girls to boys enrolled in primary school was higher in Bangladesh than in the other two countries. Life expectancy rose in all three countries, but it risen to higher levels in Bangladesh by 2000. In all three countries, and unlike much of the world, we had higher male life expectancy than female. By the end of this period, female life expectancy had overtaken male in all three countries, so it was like the rest of the world, but it had overtaken it more in Bangladesh. Infant mortality declined in all three countries, but it fell furthest in Bangladesh. So there was progress in all three countries, but very much to people's surprise, this progress was more rapid in Bangladesh. However, the picture diverged for gender disparities in child mortality. So gender disparities in child mortality remained higher in India for a long time amongst the